Hello, I'm Raynor. Welcome back to another episode of Raynor's Guitar Digest. Okay, today I'm going to share with you on techniques of percussive guitaring. Okay, what is percussive guitaring? Percussive guitaring, that means when you play in your plucking patterns or strumming patterns, you add percussion to elements to your playing lah, to your patterns. Okay, so there are many ways of how guitarists can add elements of percussion in their playing. Some hit the string, some hit the guitar body at various parts. Okay, some even maybe hit the guitar head. We never know. So first, today I'll share with you one simple 4/4 timing percussive plucking pattern, which will help you handle some of the popular English and Chinese songs here lah. Okay, some of the popular English and Chinese numbers. Okay, so first let's look at this percussive pattern in the video here. First, I will demo it. Okay, so this is one bar. I repeat again. Okay, so now I will count out the timing as well. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. So how do we analyze this pattern here? So let's break this pattern first into maybe 3 parts. Okay, so the very first part is actually on your first beat. What you see on the first beat, right? You will see everything, all strings are being played lah. Okay, especially the first. Let's assume the 3 T's here. They are the first 3 treble strings lah. So you will use all your fingers. Your ring finger take care of first string, middle finger take care of the second string, and index finger take care of the third string here. Okay, all your trebles lah, all your top 3 trebles here. And then the B will, of course, will be your bass, which will be the base of any chord. So in this case, let's use a G chord. So your very first beat will be, I call this a squeeze. A squeeze, that means your thumb and all your 3 fingers, they play all the strings at the same time. So your first beat will sound like this. This is a squeeze. Okay, so I do it one more time. Your first beat is a squeeze. Okay, with all your 3 fingers and your thumb on the bass, and you do a squeeze. Play all the 4 strings at the same time, the 3 treble string and the bass of the chord, all these 4 notes at the same time, or all these 4 strings at the same time. Okay, so this is your first beat here, and when we divide this into 3 parts, this is the first thing that we will do. We'll do a squeeze first on the first beat. So 1 and, so when you play this right, this squeeze here will last for 1 full beat here. 1 and it occupies to the end sub beat here. So then what happens in the second part of this pattern is actually you will see the X. Okay, what does the X means here is actually the percussive part here lah. So what we're going to do here is at this X area here at the second beat, what you can do is we're going to hit the strings here. How do we hit the strings? So first, after your squeeze, right, I want you, after this squeeze that is done, right, I want you to clench your fingers down here into a knuckle shape here, and then once it becomes a knuckle, you hit all the strings down. Okay, you hear that? So this is the percussive part on the second beat, where you see all the X, all the crosses. Okay, so this is the percussive part. So just make sure that it goes into a knuckle shape. Okay, it looks like this. And when you hit down, right, most of your fingers, right, they're actually muting. What do they mute? They hit and they mute most of the treble and the mid strings lah. Then your thumb, right, is actually, if you observe my thumb, right, my thumb is actually muting more of the 6th and the 5th string bass here. So the muting will goes like this. So remember, when you mute, right, you have to make sure that you kill all the notes here. It cannot have any residual notes or echo of any notes coming out. So you shouldn't have this is called like a bounce back echo here. You hear notes coming out. So once we do a chop here, right, or we do a slap here, right, you must make sure all the notes are killed off. They cannot sound. So when you kill it, all the notes have to kill off. So the first beat will be 1 and 2. See? So at this part, you will hear the percussive sound, and it also kills all the notes at the same time. So this is on your second beat. So right after your second beat, right, on your 2 end, that means the end beat of the end sub beat of the second beat, right, will be a squeeze again. So at this point of time, right, you have to open up your fingers, reset back to the squeeze position again. That means all your 3 strings got by your ring finger on the first string, middle on the second string, and index on the third string again. And then your thumb goes back to the the bass string of the chord here, and then you do a squeeze one more time. Okay, so basically what happened during the second part here, on the second beat and the second sub beat end here, is actually a slap, a chop, a slap. You can call it a slap, a chop, and then a squeeze again. Okay, so it's actually 2 and. Okay, so it's actually a chop or a slap and then a squeeze. So we just call it a slap, okay? Slap, squeeze. Okay, this is what happened in the second part. Okay, and then the third part, right? So the third part, you realize that the third beat is the third beat is empty. There's nothing. So it's actually because just now the previous squeeze, right? It actually sustains to your third beat. And then right after your third beat on the 3 end, you will actually see just the 3 treble notes being displayed on the pattern there. So what you're going to do here is you're not going to do squeeze anymore. So you are going to do the same thing, the 3 treble strings together, but without the thumb. Okay, so we are not going to do a squeeze. I will call this a pull. Okay, so you're just going to play these 3 strings like this. Okay, just plug all the 3 strings at the same time without the bass this time. So you see, because there's no bass in the pattern here. Okay, so right after this, you see the X again. So you're going to do a slap one more time. Squeeze your knuckle back again, and your thumb keep in this position, and then do a slap. Okay, so this is a slap here. So just now we do a pull, and then we do a slap. Okay, and then what's the last one? The last one, you see just a single bass. So you just plug the bass. Okay, so the third part of this percussive plucking pattern, I will just call it a pull, slap, bass. Okay, one more time. Pull, slap, bass. Okay, so what happened? Let's look through this whole percussive plucking pattern one more time. So the first activity that happens, there will be 3 main sections here. The first section will be your squeeze on the first beat. Squeeze. Okay, this is your first section. The second section will be your slap and then squeeze again. Slap, squeeze. Okay, and then the third section, right, will be your pull, slap, bass. Okay, so let's try playing this pattern, but we need to count out the timing as well. So we do it very, very slowly. So it goes like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, let's do one more time. So remember all your strokes first. So it's actually squeeze first, and then slap, and then squeeze, and then pull, and then slap, and then bass. Okay, so one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so where are the sustains part? Sustaining parts is actually your first beat. You have to prolong the squeeze to the end, and then your 2 end squeeze, right, will prolong to the third beat. On the third beat point there So it's actually 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so once you get used to it, right, you get very intuitive for this percussive pattern. It goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. See, it gets very groovy here. Okay, so this is the basic percussive plucking pattern. Okay, later we'll be using it in some songs. Okay, then I'm going to add one more variation of this pattern. Okay, now this variation, right, what will happen is the first section, right, instead of doing a squeeze, I will split the bass and the treble into 2 parts. So on the first beat, on the number 1 point, first beat point here, I will just do a bass here, 1, and then on the once end beat, right, I will do a pull. So it's like you are splitting up the squeeze into a bass and then a pull. Okay, so you go 1 and, okay, then 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the whole pattern is actually the same except for the first beat, because the first beat now is split into 1 and the end. Okay, we split the bass on the first beat, and then the pull on the one end sub beat there. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's only the first beat that there is the difference. The rest are all the same. So I do it one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's say I do continuously non-stop. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, why does this variation comes in? Because sometimes when we play intuitively the pattern, you will start to sometimes the muscle somehow the muscle will somehow cause you to play this in this way lah. So at certain bars lah. Okay, so it's actually a variation that will make the pattern not so monotonous and it will make it sounds more interesting and a bit of variation here and there, so it won't sound so monotone. Okay, so an example of an English song using this pattern will be a very classic song here, Stand By Me by Ben E. King. Okay, so let's do it. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. Okay, so this is Stand By Me by Benny King. It should sound very familiar to you that it's actually using percussive pattern. Okay, so another example would be a Chinese song using this pattern would be 一人一半 by Wu Jiahui. If you heard of this song, if you heard of this song before. 一人一半，感情會散，一人一首歌。感情才會久。Okay, so this is 一人一半，一人一半 okay, by Wu Jiahui. Okay, another example of a Chinese pop song using this percussive pattern would be 写一首歌 by 顺子。月亮在你的眼睛，太陽在我心。現在我唱這首歌。只為你。Okay, so sounds familiar, right? That actually the song actually the guitaring part is actually quite obvious as using percussive guitaring here lah. Okay, so yet another song which is a very classic by Zhang Huimei is actually 解脱 by Zhang Huimei. Okay, it actually also uses percussive guitaring, which is very suitable. Okay, so it goes like this. 爱是不夜城，回忆像星辰。热泪越沸腾，我越感觉有点冷。Okay, so notice that just now on the A-7 on G and on the G chord area, right, I used the variation of this percussive pattern, so it sounds more interesting at this areas here lah, because it's something like it's at end of the lyric phrase here, so the chord it will play a bit differently on the pattern here lah. So that's why I use the variation of this pattern on this parts, which will make this area sounds more creative, more interesting. Okay, so alright, that's all for this video. Hope you learned something new, and remember to subscribe, follow, like or comment below if you have any questions. Okay, so thank you and see you in the next video. Goodbye.